Although Coronation Street revealed Jake Windass as the apparent sender of threatening messages to Lauren Bolton about the van incident, viewers suspect someone else is truly behind the blackmail. A dramatic twist aired on Friday's episode where Lauren Bolton uncovered who had been secretly extorting her. Jake Windass, a young character on the show, seemed to be identified as the culprit sending intimidating messages regarding her role in the vehicle accident. After devising a plan to expose the sender, Lauren was stunned when Jake walked into her trap and admitted he had been the one pressuring her. However, many fans remain skeptical, theorizing that Jake might not be acting alone or may not be the mastermind. Some even speculate that he could be a pawn for someone else, doubting that a child could orchestrate such a complex scheme. Lauren and Betsy Swain devised a plan, leaving a sum of money in a set location while observing from a distance. Lauren initially believed Bobby Crawford was responsible, so she was stunned when it was young Jake who turned up to collect the parcel. Completely taken aback, she confronted him immediately. Jake explained he had obtained the phone number through his stepmother Maria's mobile. While it seemed the mystery had been solved, Lauren gave him a stern warning, though some viewers remain unconvinced that this is the end of the story. On social media, several fans have shared their suspicions that Mick Michaelis could actually be the one behind the threats, with Jake either helping him or independently blackmailing Lauren as well. One fan theory suggested there has to be another twist. Jake may not be the only person who saw Lauren and Betsy driving off in Tracy's van. Maybe there were multiple witnesses besides Jake, one fan speculated, but I have a feeling Mick and Lou might have seen Lauren and Betsy leaving in Tracy's van. They continued, "I don't think Jake was acting alone. There's definitely another layer to this." Another viewer offered a different theory. Is it just me, or does it seem like someone else is either involved with the blackmailer or targeting Lauren separately? Something tells me Mick is connected, especially with all the drama unfolding around Jake's brother Liam. Elsewhere, fans were simply puzzled by the sudden reveal. Jake, who hadn't appeared in the show for months and seemed totally unrelated to Lauren, being revealed as the blackmailer struck many as random. One confused viewer wrote, "So Maria's kid was blackmailing Lauren? Seriously, what even is this storyline? It makes no sense and came out of nowhere." Another viewer expressed their frustration online, writing, "What was even the purpose of Lauren's blackmail plot? It had so much potential, but for it to turn out to be Jake, a kid who's barely relevant and hasn't appeared in ages, makes no sense. Why?" A third person added, "This is really how they decided to give Jake a storyline. They didn't even show him enough in the lead-up. Why would he suddenly be involved with Lauren at all?" And in a final comment, a fan shared their disappointment. "So Lauren's blackmailer turns out to be a child who's rarely on screen? Not Bobby, who could have become a more compelling character? Honestly, I'm done. What a ridiculous twist." ITV Coronation Street fans rumble Eileen's fate as real motive confirmed for Julie's death. Coronation Street viewers are speculating about Eileen Grimshaw's fate, as it appears she may soon be leaving Weatherfield. She's currently caught in a major storyline, having been falsely accused of playing a role in her sister Julie's tragic death, after it was revealed Julie had used Eileen's medication to end her life. Although Eileen insisted she had no knowledge of her sister's intentions, doubts began to surface, with both Todd and George questioning whether she was truly innocent. Earlier this week, the family was shaken to learn that Julie had taken the pills before setting off on what seemed to be a calm and reflective visit to the lake. Viewers were devastated when the truth about Julie's death was revealed. In emotional scenes, Eileen bid a tearful farewell to her sister, though questions soon emerged about whether Julie's passing might actually be suspicious. Brian, outraged by the possibility that Eileen was involved, wasted no time and reported her to the authorities. Detective Sergeant Lisa Swain later cautioned Eileen that if she were found guilty, she could be charged with murder and potentially face a 14-year prison sentence. During Friday night's episode of the ITV soap, Todd and George decided they needed to shield Eileen from suspicion. Todd deliberately misled the police, telling Officer Craig that Julie's body had already been embalmed, hoping this would prevent an autopsy from taking place. Fearing that the examination might uncover evidence pointing to Eileen, they were determined to keep the authorities away from the body. However, later in the episode, Craig showed up at the funeral parlor and caught George in the act of embalming Julie's body. Realizing he'd been lied to, Craig escorted George to the police station for questioning. When George eventually returned home to number 11, Eileen was devastated to learn that both he and Todd believed she might be capable of murdering her own sister. Eileen confronted Todd and George, furious over their actions. "All you've done is make me look even more guilty," she snapped. "What exactly were you hoping to prove? An autopsy would have simply shown what was in her system, not who gave it to her." Though the pair insisted their only intention was to protect her, Eileen's frustration boiled over. Raising her voice, she shouted, "Protect me from what? I haven't done anything wrong. Oh my God, you think I did it? You actually believe I had something to do with Julie's death, don't you?" Her anger turned to heartbreak as she continued, "I've told you the truth. I didn't do it. Why is that so hard for you to believe? Why can't you just trust me? What will it take to make you understand that I'm innocent?" In a fit of rage, Eileen hurled her mug of tea at George, shouting, "Get out of my sight!" One stunned fan reacted, posting, "Eileen throwing a fit at George. Wow, didn't see that coming," while another supporter cheered, adding, "Go on, Eileen." Later in the episode, Eileen revealed to George that Julie had left her entire life insurance policy in her will. This revelation immediately raised red flags for Coronation Street fans, especially as rumors swirl about Eileen's departure from Weatherfield in the near future. Fans took to social media to share their thoughts, with one viewer writing, "Julie's life insurance policy, and she left it all to Eileen. Looks like Eileen's about to leave Corrie. We can already guess what's coming next." Another fan commented, "Well, Eileen's gonna pocket the money and then just vanish. Classic move." However, many fans expressed concern that the inheritance would only serve to make Eileen seem more suspicious in the eyes of the other characters. One fan wrote, "This is just another nail in Eileen's coffin. An inheritance like that could be seen as a huge motive." Another agreed, adding, "Now Eileen's financially set, but that will just look like proof she had something to gain from Julie's death." With the tension continuing to rise, Coronation Street fans are eager to see how this storyline unfolds. The soap airs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available for streaming on ITVX from 7 a.m.